All right, everyone, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. Going to be getting into core plays here for the BMW Championship, and this should be a good one. A lot of guys are expected to bounce back in a strong way. This one should, on paper, be a little bit easier to target the correct players. But with that being said, it is going to be a WGC event, so there are some things in which, are going to make it a little bit difficult, and obviously we'll get into that. But first, I want to remind you guys of the partnership that 9to5 has going with Fandex.com, which is your fantasy sports stock exchange. You can buy, sell, or short shares of players. Last week, I was able to short Collin Morikawa, which was really kind of the only great thing I had going last week on my Fandex portfolio. But, it was a fun thing to do, guys, and especially when your week is kind of going poor in PGA DFS, or even great in PGA DFS, you can keep the momentum going, I guess, if you will. You can head over to fandex.com and really buy or sell players throughout the tournament. It's a really fun and exciting thing to be a part of. So check that out. They have weekly contests, $50 a week contest, and then there's going to be one grand prize at the end of it. You're still not too late to join. So definitely check out fandex.com to get the players that you want on your fantasy sports portfolio. But that being said, we are going to begin to the core plays here. I do want to say that this is a very kind of interesting one in which it's going to be a little bit more difficult to predict, okay? A lot of the players obviously played well last week. They played well this whole season. So it does make the pricing pretty much true to how it should be on DraftKings. They did a really good job pricing this one. So for comp course history, we had to look at the Memorial Tournament, the U.S. Open this year, the Pimento Championship, really the only closest Tom Fazio course design we could come up with. And then we also were looking at the last no-cut event, which was the WGC FedEx St. Jude. So that's kind of how we were looking at like course history for this one. It's going to be comp course history. But we're going to start off with kind of the easiest play on the slate. It's going to be Jon Rahm. Now, the nice thing about a no-cut event is that you can really stars and scrubs it, and it or does and does it, whatever you want to call it, and you can make it work. So, like Jon Rahm being literally the best paper on paper pretty much ever this week. First in StatFit, first in recent form rank, first in comp course history rank, and the best player in the 9to5 model. Absolutely crazy, guys. His lowest stat is second, T2. So all the stats that we're looking at, he literally is the best stat fit. So Jon Rahm, he's priced up a lot. 11.7, that's allowed to pay off for him. But with this week, it's not that bad. I don't really mind it all too much. And then the next core play is going to be my boy Harris English. You guys saw him on the cover. You guys saw him on the first slide. Harris English really has been a stud over the past year now. I really do like his odds at 35-1 as well. But we look at his comp course history, miscut. We don't love that, but then a third, fourth, and 14th. So obviously has played well at the comp courses that we are kind of looking at for a player to play well. His worst start over the last 5 weeks was last week, okay? And he was playing well. He just had a few kind of mentally bad holes, start off slow on round 3. So if he kind of just cleans that up a little bit like I expect him to do, he's going to go out and play a little bit better. And then I do want to mention he also does have an average finish of 36 in no-cut events, which if that's kind of the floor that we're getting from him, that's going to be really good there from Harris English at 8.4. That's a great price point for a guy that easily should bounce back this week. And then continue that theme of kind of bouncing back. We're going to be looking at Paul Casey. So last week was kind of interesting in which a lot of players kind of played poorly that were not expected to play poorly. There's a lot of randomness last week, so it was kind of a weird week. I expect a lot of that to kind of regress back to the mean, and so I expect Paul Casey and Harris English, like those type of players, to have a much better week this week. He's just really looking like a stellar play. He had a 7th and 5th for the comp course history that we're looking at. We love that. Top 8 or better in course history rank, stat fit, recent form rank. So overall, he's going to be a top 5 play in the 9to5 model that you can get at 8.2. Really, the thing what it comes down to is with Paul Casey, and the next play I'm going to mention is, do you think that last week was a sign of things to come, or is that just an outlier week? Because if you think it's just an outlier week, you got to pretty much just be locking in Paul Casey. If you thought it was a sign of things to come, then maybe you don't think about him. Then he also did gain 2 strokes on longer courses, which something I pulled up on 9 to 5 Sports for you guys. And then just looking at Louis Oosthuizen, kind of the same thing as Paul Casey, just a little bit more expensive and a little bit safer, I guess, if you will. He actually gained 2.5 strokes on longer tracks, which this course is going to be playing a little bit longer, over 7,500 yards. His comp course history is 18th, 2nd, and 17th. And just like Paul Casey, ranks top 8 or better in all the key metrics that we're looking at. Overall, he ranks as a top 5 pick in the 9 to 5 mile. Those guys are all going to be players that I really like in this one. But that's all I have for you guys for this one. And kind of a little bonus thing, you know, we got the FanDex sponsorship here. I'll just call it the FanDex find of the week. I think he's going to be a great buying opportunity for FanDex as well. It's going to be Hudson Swafford. He's 6K on DraftKings. Really think he's going to be a great buying opportunity. Look at his last 4 tournaments. He's played well. Missed the cut in 2 of them, but shot 2 under. Played well in his last 2, 11th and 37th. And then he also had a 2nd place finish and a 62nd place finish at 2 of the comp courses that we're looking at. So decent play there for you guys. Just thought I'd give you that one out there for free. If you're trying to make all 4 of those players work, you gotta do a deep dive, and that's gonna be Hudson Swafford for us. All right, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, keep cashing. If you guys want to join 9 to 5 Nation, click the link in the description below. Best value in PGA DFS. All right, I'm out.